Hey, Rigsby here, and in today's episode, I want to talk with you about gaps in the market and how you can take advantage of them. Let's get started. Welcome to the Fitness Business School podcast, the show for fitness business owners who want to grow their income, increase their impact, and improve their lifestyle. Be sure to listen till the end of this episode because we have a brand new special offer exclusive for listeners. So stay tuned. Over the last few years, we've seen the fitness industry kind of really go in one primary direction and then a secondary direction when it comes to personal training or coaching based services. The first direction is there's become this kind of window where everybody's in that $100 to $200 price range, large group training. The franchises have really been a driver in that. And, what started out a good decade plus ago with boot camps literally being held in a park going for $199 to $299, the pricing has really kind of shifted to that $100 to $200 range, usually in that $129 to $179 range. And so we see a lot of that happening. But then on the flip side, over the last few years, there's been a big push in the online world of people coaching people to sell quote unquote high ticket programs. And high ticket being $1,000 plus for a program or some sort of really expensive, often prepaid type of transformation type thing. And that's been that high ticket phrasing or that mentality of, hey, we're going to sell something that's really expensive has become popular. But I think what a lot of people have learned is probably not as easily sold on a consistent basis as advertised, especially now that the market probably is a little more aware of the value exchange. So the interesting thing is both of these kind of pricing models have created two opportunities or two gaps, if you will, that I think are where the biggest opportunities lie in the fitness industry. The first is for somebody to probably go in and be a low cost provider and do what Planet Fitness did to the health club market and say, okay, we can come in at $49 a month and sell group training and be a class based solution and really work off of volume. And it's not that nobody's doing this. There are a couple of brands that have done it, but they've definitely not had the market impact that like a Planet Fitness would have. But I definitely foresee that as an opportunity. If somebody can make that type of model profitable, which really comes down to being great at driving volume. If somebody can make that type of model profitable, I think that could be a game changer in that large group model. Now, in many cases, it's going to be driven by not pursuing Class A real estate. And if you look at most Planet Fitnesses, they're not. Most of the Planet Fitnesses that I've seen in our local markets have taken old Kmart's or buildings that Walmart's or Kroger's have moved out of that have stayed vacant for a little bit, and the commercial landlords haven't been able to find a tenant that wanted that much space. So they've been able to get good rates on space. And so it would require somebody getting a good rate on space. It would require somebody being able to keep overhead down and really just driving volume consistently, doing much bigger numbers than a lot of these facilities that tend to hover in that 200 member range or something like that if you wanted to make the math work on that type of model. But if you did, there's definitely an opportunity there. So that's one gap in the market. The other gap that I see a big opportunity with is what I would call mid-tier pricing. And this has been a sweet spot in my business, in the business coaching world, for many years. And that mid-tier pricing is that $200 to $500 a month range. And that's where a lot of small group training falls and some semi-private training, it falls there. And I think that mid-tier pricing it's a little bit like the SUV market if we were talking cars, right? Like you're not going out and buying a Rolls Royce or something like that, but you're definitely spending more than you'd spend if you were buying the least expensive car on the lot. And if you were to pursue that market, you don't need as many people. You can be higher touch with those people. You can provide a very different experience than just a one-size-fits-all workout. You can provide accountability. You can make people feel important. You can do more customization to programming. Even if you're not doing individualized program, like in a small group setting, you can be more attentive to progressions and regressions. You are able to pursue that upper middle class market. I think that's a great spot for the 40 plus, 50 plus market. And this kind of what we would call mid-tier pricing is just, in my mind, it's an easier business for somebody to build what I call their ideal business, in that there's going to be better margins. You're going to be able to create a better experience. You're not going to have to deal with as much volume, and so fewer things are going to fall through the cracks. You most likely are not going to need as big a staff or as big a footprint to support this type of business, so there's a little bit less overhead-based risk. So there are just a number of reasons why this type of model, I think, is the best available gap in the training or coaching-based side of the market. So if you're looking for gaps, if you're looking for, hey, where's the opportunity? Where can I go and find a sweet spot that isn't completely saturated? Those are the two that I see the greatest opportunity in the landscape with right now. So go settle into a gap, become the number one kind of player in that market, or even a category of one in your respective market, and watch your business grow. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Fitness Business School. Before you go, I've got a quick announcement. When I first connect with fitness business owners, they almost always ask me how I can get more clients and make more money. Well, I've got an exclusive offer for you, and it's going to help you do just that. And as a listener of this show, I would love to invite you to a conversation where you and I can talk about our new program, the Business Growth Sprint. The Business Growth Sprint is a one-of-a-kind program where you get everything you need. We actually work with you one-on-one, unlimited one-on-one coaching and support. We design a marketing plan for you. We give you assets to execute the plan. It's unmatched in our industry between the level of coaching, the frequency of accountability, the simple step-by-step nature, and the completeness of how it's going to guide you to making more money and improving your personal income fast. Imagine having every tool, template, ad, and script that you need all ready to use. Plus, you're going to get one-on-one access with me and the other coaches on my team to make sure that everything from your business growth plan to your marketing and sales system is done, turnkey, ready to go. And what's great is there is zero risk. We guarantee that you are going to add at least $4,000 a month in recurring revenue or $20,000 a month cash collected as part of this program in just 4 months. So if you're interested, if you'd like to discuss and see if this is a fit, Just shoot me an email at pat@patrigsby.com and put sprint in the subject line and I'll get you all the details.